हाय हॅलो वेलकम टू येट अनदर एपिसोड ऑफ कॅज्युअली योर्स. आणि आमच्या बरोबर हांव माझा आसा तो सालिगांव आणि म्हजे बरोबर आज जो गेस्ट आहा ताजे बद्दल हांवें सांगप सारकें जावची ना. लेट्स मीट हर. प्लीज वेलकम Danuska.
Danuska the Gama.
Danuska the Gama. So Danuska, welcome to my show.
Thank you
This
so much.
Casually yours, okay. And as I say, casually yours म्हणजे सामके casual आहा कळ्ळें तुका.
Of course.
आज हांव जो आसा पळय तो प्लीज एक्सप्लेन दिस ब्युटिफुल.
So this is the Saligaon Church.
Okay.
So it's the parish of Mai de Dios, which is Mother of God, and it's one of the most beautiful churches, and it's also preserved by the Archaeological Survey of India, and it's taken care of by the government. And it's one church where I've grown up going to. At present, I do not go a lot to church because of work and my own beliefs, but it's an iconic monument in Saligaon, and I'm very happy to belong to Saligaon. And I thought when you were having this interview, why not do it at this iconic place, because she is the Mother of God, and this is what Saligaon is known for its beautiful church, for its green fields, and the people who have made Saligaon proud.
You are the only female
International technical official.
International
Technical official.
So what is it now?
So it's like just like you have FIFA, the world body for boxing is IBA,
Okay.
International Boxing Association.
Yeah.
So here, after becoming an NTO, so I've been an NTO for quite some time now, over 10 years in India, and I think the next was to kind of get qualified for the International Boxing Association.
Okay.
But I missed a chance because I was supposed to go to Dubai in 2021 for my exam. But because of the COVID restrictions and because the flights from India were banned, I missed on my chance there. I missed out on another chance in Italy when it was in October or November in 2022. So this time when we got the opportunity, we were 4 of us who went for the exam, and we got to know that we were going to answer the exam just 4 days before leaving for Thailand, and it was a pretty tough and technical exam, and so I finally made it. It was 1 month of anxiety and tension, and now I am one of the 5 in India. So yeah, as an international technical official, I won't be refereeing or judging. It's different because here I will be allotting referee judges as a draw commissioner. Like I got to keep.
Superior to referees and all.
I wouldn't say superior, but it's just a different level.
If you were not what you are today, म्हणजे ते जे बॉक्सिंग तुवें जे सांगलें एक्सप्लेन केलें जाल्यार कितें आसतालें? What was the other option?
I can't imagine not being in boxing because I was born in this family where my dad eats boxing, drinks boxing, sleeps boxing. So it was evident that there would be boxing. But yes, probably had I not done journalism and I started off with Prudent Media, I would probably not be in Goa, because my original plan was to get an MBA done and work in human resources.
Wait, म्हाका एक सांग, बॉक्सिंग आणि मिडिया,
Yeah.
like sports and media, किती लिंक जाता?
It's a very funny combination, but I've been managing it because I've grown up seeing boxers box, outside my house in the backyard, and my dad would take practices, and there were no government coaches at that time. So, helping in getting water for the boxers at that time. I think the first tournament I organized was in 2004 when I was in the 10th, and it was right there in the fields. And I remember going around, to get sponsorship, and with 10,000 rupees, I managed to organize a boxing championship.
You or that?
Yes, me.
Okay.
I took up the initiative, but yes, of course, with the help of boxers. And I remember Royal Foods was one sponsor that time because, I just went as a kid. And at that time, I knew I had a little bit of marketing skills, and they sponsored chicken. But, I didn't want to waste money to give it out. So my mother cooked chicken shakuti for all the boxers who were boxing. And it was in the fields for 2 days in May 2004. And that's when I realized, okay, because I finished boxing. I boxed for 1 year when I was in the 8th standard. I played my first nationals in 2002, 2003 in Sikkim. But I can, without being ashamed, say that I was not a great boxer. And sometimes you don't need to be a boxer to be in the boxing ring. There's a lot more. So I believe I'm a better sports administrator and more onto the organizing and coordinating aspects when it comes to boxing.
Nikat or Mary Kom?
Nikat.
Why?
I've seen Nikat as a kid, as a young boxer, and it was way back in 2012 or 2013 when she had come to Goa when she was a young boxer, and I like Nikat's perseverance. The way she's perceived, the calm attitude she has kept, especially because Mary Kom is a legend, but there is always a career span for a boxer, and Nikat has done her best, and she, somebody who was demotivated could be out of the ring, because she's waited for such a long time, and it just shows how dedicated and how hardworking she is, and the kind of respect that she's earned. So definitely Nikat now, but my highest respects and regards for Mary Kom. She's
धनुष्का आता पळय हांव तूं उलयता पळय निखात एंड ऑल त्या लिस्टान अजून धनुष्का कित्याक ना?
Because I think I am into too many things, and I was not focused as a boxer. For me, boxing was a way of fitness, to lose weight, which clearly did not happen at that time. And because I was boxing, like for example, if a father is a doctor, it's obvious his dream would be
Correct.
that he would want his child to be a doctor, right? So my father wanted both his children to be boxers, but my brother was a better boxer. He was a national champion twice. He was very good in his footwork, but his daughter still had a fear of being in the ring, and I was pretty plump at that time, so I had to play in a higher weight category. And at that time, when I was 13, 14, there were boxers who were really taller than me in that weight category. So yeah, it was different.
ते हाईट बी माइंड करता न्ही?
Yes, but then now when I look back, I'm like, had I focused on boxing, I might have played for an international at that time, because there were very few girls at that time.
That's what म्हणटा गोंयांत तुका hardly you'll find
Yeah.
people in like boxing
Absolutely,
that
गोंय.
females. गोंय आमी गोंय म्हटलें काय ना?
Yeah.
सो आमचे भितर एक आसा एटलीस्ट सावथ गोंय सोड सावथ जर म्हणलें आमी न्ही जाल्यार इट इज फॉर फिमेल्स न्ही कशें आहा दे आर लायक प्रिटी वुमन आनी मागीर अशी डेलिकेट वुमन तशी गोश्ट येता कळ्ळें तुका?
Okay.
बट हार्डली यू विल फायंड अशें हार्श हितून स्पोर्ट्सान हार्श वाय
Right.
से इज लायक इट्स बॅशिंग रायट
Yes.
सो कशें हें कशें तुका बिलीव कसो केलो तुवें की बाबा हें करूं शकता म्हणून एक फिमेल किंवा भुरगें चेडूं भुरगें
And I think most of the boxers, whether it's Mary Kom, Nikat, or any other boxer, you always have the beautiful aspect to it. Like you look at Nikat Zareen, she's endorsing so many brands and she looks so pretty.
Correct.
And no one would even say that she's a Indian Muslim female, because we had Sania
They're
Mirza
too Muslim,
once.
yeah, correct,
And now we have Nikat, and they're just leading the path. But this notion of delicate girl and all, I think should go, because I think that is something that has been brought down by generations, etc.
correct.
But women are tough, and women are tougher than men. And when I say women are tougher than men, I mean mentally, not just physically. Probably our physique is different, and we look very fragile and delicate, but we are extremely tough.
some of your blogs and like Facebook posts
Okay.
they're like somewhere pointing towards or throwing stones or something like that कितले तुका इंटरेस्ट आ काय कितें अशें तातूंत?
I think you cannot avoid politics at all. Whether you like politics or not, there's politics everywhere. And I'm extremely grateful to my college teacher, Rajiv Narvekar. He's still teaching in the college that I teach in. And he used to make us read the newspaper every day. And a lot of people in the class didn't like it, a newspaper session, and they would get bored with it. But I think that inculcated, and brought about a habit of knowing what is happening, because whether you like it or not, you need to know what's happening, whether it's about the tax, whether it's about a scheme, or whether it's about elections. But yes, I'm a little vocal about certain things, and though as a journalist, I am in charge of the features section at the Navin Times, and I am more into the supplements and things that people would like to read about. Once in a while, I do cover political stories. So
राजकारण जे चल्लां ताजेर कितें म्हणणें?
to be honest, I've not been reading the newspaper for the longest time, but I do believe that we need to take people and move forward. I think there is somewhere where the people's voices are not being heard right in the best manner. A very simple example is Madai. Probably it's a political gimmick where the water is being said that it's going to be diverted because of the elections. But whatever said and done, Karnataka is moving forward, and we need to save the water for our Goans. We need to understand that the problems could affect Goans more than the people in Karnataka. And I also think that our people sometimes are in slumber. We've had this scandal, I think. But look at Delhi, look at the other places. People get onto the roads and march. and I wish that can happen in Goa, because then we will see a lot of positive.
So any
change.
plans of getting being the leader of those masses on the streets?
I do not want conflict of interest, which is why probably I cannot. But in my own way, like when I write about posts or when I do stories, because we've taken up the Madai cause, and we're covering. Because I believe you just don't also need to get out on the road, through art, through competitions, you can also create awareness. So we're working on various aspects on that sort. But I would definitely not like to force people to come on the roads. I think it should be a call from within.
राजकारणाची बी कितें हा interest हा into politics?
In 2017, I wanted to stand for Panchayat elections. I just thought probably, I can do it, but then my visa came for a holiday to Australia, and then I thought I might not get this chance. So I went to Australia for a holiday, but I'm not sure, because, I'm already juggling too many things, and I would like to focus. And to be in politics, whether it's at the Panchayat level or whether it's at the assembly level, you need to be fully focused and dedicated. And for me, I've always been someone who's a hustler, who's doing too many things, and I don't see myself only doing one thing. I want to write, I want to teach, I want to do boxing. I still want to cook on Sundays at home. So I want to do everything that I can possibly do till I'm active.
तू न्हिदलेलें आनी चटकून तुका उठयलें. फर्स्ट कितें दिसतलें तुका? बॉक्सिंग ग्लोव्स दिसतलो काय पेन दिसतलें?
Pen.
तू म्हणटा ल्हानपणांतल्यान बॉक्सिंगेचेर नाहा म्हणटा जाल्यार तरी सुद्दां पेन?
Yeah, because I will still need a pen when I'm at the boxing. Because for me, no matter how much you need the laptop, I have to take my stationery, and for some people, at least for people like me, I still need the pen, pencil, my highlighter. So whenever I'm packing my bags to go for a boxing championship, the first thing that I have to put is my stationery dabba, and that's very important. And they always say the pen is mightier than the sword. So even if I'm in the boxing ring and I want to kind of assert myself, I don't need a pair of boxing gloves. I can still use the pen to cut off somebody's name or to introduce them.
I'll be more specific, okay?
Yes.
Boxing or journalism?
Both.
एकूच कितें चूज कर.
Boxing.
Sure?
Yeah.
गोंयकार म्हणलें काय ना, सी इट्स अ स्पेशालिटी. गोंयकार म्हणलें की एकदम म्युजीक ना जाल्यार काय ना, गोंयकार न्ही.
Okay.
सो हाउ अबाउट Danuska?
I love to sing, but I'm very embarrassed to sing. Like of late, I've started singing for parties, and I'm singing for karaoke's and all of that. But I always have a group of friends, because no matter how confident I am, I always have this little bit of stage fear, and how will the public look at me? And it's also drilled into me, I think, as a kid, because I was a little fat, so I was always conscious of my looks, of my size and all of that. But of late, I'm shedding my...
So you have been bullied and all that जाताले?
Oh yes, of course.
खूब न्ही?
Yeah, my pet name was Fatty, Motia, all of that. But I've grown up with that. But then now I realize that, body shaming is such a thing where you are the one who allows people to bully you, So now I put a stop to it, and I believe fat is fabulous, and I've also started, loving myself and accepting who I am, and I like doing a few photo shoots and posing and blah blah blah. So yeah.
तुका खंय जेवण खूब आवडटा?
Yes, a lot.
कितें आवडटा तुका स्पेशली?
I like South.
आणि सेकंडली तुका फक्त खावपाक आवडटा?
No, I like to cook.
Okay.
But I am zero in cooking Goan food. Luckily, I have my mother, who is an excellent cook of Goan food. So there my needs are done. And I have a lot of friends. I have my friend Melin Cruz in South Goa, who makes sure she gives me like authentic Goan food, whether it's kismur or whether it's some roast tongue or whatever. And but my personal favorites is Southeast Asian, and I also like a lot of continental food.
पण आता तुवें म्हणलें बुलिंग, ओके, बुलिंग जातात म्हणून ल्हानपणां किंवा आज जेन्ना तूं ह्या पोजिशनचेर आहा एट दीस लेवल ऑफ युअर करियर, आय एम टॉकिंग अबाउट बॉक्सिंग, ओके, कारण यू हॅव मेड गोवन्स प्राऊड अँड देन इंटरनॅशनल लेवल, म्हणजे इंडियाचो सुद्दां तुका खबर ना, ते वी नो इट, या. सो कोणाक तूं अशें सांगू शकता की येस, नाव लुक इन टू माय आयज?
I can tell a lot of people, because one, I don't believe in enemies, but I do know there's a lot of jealousy, and that just happens. But at the same time, I feel we should be happy for each other, and I'm pretty sure, like a lot of people thought that, you know, boxing is just something part-time and her father has put her into it. But to be extremely honest, I did not study like I studied for this exam. Like you know, and I was just telling my parents and the people there, you know, had I studied like this in the 10th and 12th, you know, I would have probably done much better. But at that time I was overconfident. Here I had an inferiority complex because one, in India, no matter how much we talk about equality, the men still rule the ring. And even if it is a women's championship, I've always, because I'm an executive committee member of BFI, I've always been saying that for a women's championship or for a men's championship, there have to be equal or more number of women, because women are generally better at their job, and you know, we need to have that kind of balance. But it does not happen. So even to get my name to go for the exam was extremely tough. And unfortunately, as much as men talk about seniority and about equality, it's the men who don't want women to come up, you know. And somewhere I do feel probably they're afraid that women can do better than them, because we are good multitaskers. And I would, you know, give a shout out to all the mothers, because there's no one who's a multitasker like a mother or a housewife. But it's tough in India, and it's because for the exam we were 24 candidates. Of those 24, we were just 3 females. So it shows that, you know, it's just not in India, it's everywhere that, you know, there's this gender bias, or, you know, this gender indifference which is there, which should go off. But I also think it's also to do with us. We don't want to come forward. We wait for an opportunity to come to us. But we have to fight for our own selves, you know. So
अनेक misbelief असू शकता हो, I don't know, I'm not so sure. They say that first time when you join a boxing, whatever, like you want to box, ते नाकाक असे मारतात कशी किती करतात तुम्ही?
ना, so
मारता काही नाकाच्या आड मोडतात.
no, so that's a complete misconception.
Okay.
The nose does not break, and today boxing is a very safe game. It is definitely not what it used to be in the past, but you don't have to remove your bone to box.
Okay.
I still have my bone. In fact, I had an operation on my nose because of a road accident, but my bone still exists. And a lot of boxers, whether it's Maricom or Nikhil, they still have their nose bone. So it's not that the nose, you have to remove your bone to box. That's a complete misbelief. It's a misconception totally. So probably people think that boxing is like a street fight where you just punch people, but no, boxing is super technical. They considered boxing to be a poor man's sport, because, you know, those who are poor, those who are generally socially, economically backward, have the guts, and they are very daring. They don't get scared of anything. But today, with the advancements of rules, and our World Boxing Federation is keeping on updating the rules. So, you know,
what if you were the CM of Goa for a day? एक दिवसा खातीर तुका आमी CM केलो, जालें तूं. First, तुजी स्पोर्ट्साची सोडून बाकी कितेंय सांग, कितें करतलें?
I've never even thought of being a CM for the day, but if I was CM for the day, I would. So you want me to leave out sports?
Oh yeah.
If I was CM for a day, I think I would drive from north to south without any security, and just kind of look at the normal stuff from a common person's perspective.
Okay.
Stop by.
VIP culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, just interact with people without security, or at least it should appear that there is no security. And
doesn't happen now. At least in Goa.
CM rooms with a convoy, right? He still has his security, but I would want to drive.
So is it like people say it is a protocol?
Yeah.
So.
But I still remember this picture of ex-Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar on a scooter, you know, where he sat behind somebody, and and even though it was for an election campaign.
He was Saligaonkar?
No, he's from Parra.
Parra.
Yeah, but he's my neighbor.
Okay. Neighbor, yeah, that's what you're praising.
No, but you know, I think, you know, sometimes when you are in that garb of being a CM, you probably don't feel the pulse of the people in the right way. So, you know, when you don't have people around you, people can approach you very nicely, and, you know, without getting afraid of who is there with you, or, you know, taking an appointment.
But whatever you're saying, would that be a one-day show?
Because you asked me if I was CM for one day, no?
No. I asked you, what would you do if you were the CM for one day? Yes, but one day doesn't mean that you dakhova kardal no. Lokanchi kide kardale.
So if I was CM for one day, first of all, I would change the education system.
Okay.
And I think besides just having maths and science and these basic things, I would include subjects like uh, how to save money, emotional intelligence, mental health, because all these subjects are not there in school,
Correct, very
and
correct,
these are some things that are needed. And today, as a grown up, I feel had these subjects been there, I would have been a better person. Because today you don't need to be a finance graduate to buy something in the market.
Very correct,
As much as 2 plus 2 is 4, that's more than enough to understand how to kind of manage your finances, savings, etc.
Until
But today I don't remember pi and all those things, the geometry and all, and I think for me in my career it's of no use. So I think school education should be more focused on giving you life skills and training you to kind of decide what you want to do in life, which is not there. And today mental health is a very, very big problem, and until today people say mental health is like if you suffer from a mental health issue, you're mad. I have people in my own family who've said you use mental health as an excuse, because I don't feel ashamed to say that I've gone through bouts of depression. But today it is an issue, and today the youngsters are stressed. Unlike our time, the pressure of studies is much more today than it was during our time. The competition, the need to fit
Peer
into
pressure.
groups, the need to have the financial independence, it's a lot, and a lot of people are facing stress in their relationships at a very young age, which probably was not there at our time. So life is very complicated, and thus our education system needs to adapt.
तुवें म्हणलें की तूं गायता, यू लव टू
Yeah.
सिंग. सो पळय हांगा प्रोग्रामाचे हाजीर आयले काय ना, यू हॅव टू सिंग.
Will you sing along with me?
इफ आय कॅन, आय ट्राय.
Uh, okay, I'll sing Konkani, because Lorna is my favorite singer, and I feel very proud of Saligaonkars who have done well, whether it's a student, whether it's Lorna, whether it's an artist like Clarice Vaz, whether it's architect Dean De Cruz. Anybody from Saligaon doing well is like a matter of great pride, and I brag about Lorna being from Saligaon. Like, she's a Saligaonkar, but I don't even have the kind of what do you say? I am nowhere compared to her, but I love Lorna. I love her style of singing, and when I'm at parties, I like to imitate Lorna when she sings. So I'm going to sing. Will you sing with me, because I'm a little shy?
ओ अच्छा, सांग तूं म्हाका खंयची तें पळय, म्हाका येता काय स्टार्ट.
Okay, so this is Natya Kumpasar, and it's also to do with the movie Natya Kumpasar, which is one of my favorite Konkani movies. Though I love Miransha Naik, the film director from Benaulim. His movies are outstanding, and he is a young director. But Kai bore ben ye wasta, Kalzak Santos bokta, Maka Chedwani Chedwa nasta, my makai natsong dista, Agoto tukanaka, my makai natsong dista. I think that's enough.
तुका do you know how you sing? तू जाणा?
Yes, I used to sing in a church choir.
You didn't imitate her. तुका तोच वॉइस हा तुका. Seriously, I mean, first you
Thank
started
you, but
me.
I would not take that as, because I don't want to have someone else's voice. But
No, seriously,
thank you.
Actually, seriously, I felt it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you start that thing then? See, you do everything right. So why not that?
Then they will say that Danuska is into too many things.
अरे लोग तो बोलते रहेंगे.
वो भी सही है.
Check
So I
it,
sing for
मस्त.
parties.
Uh-huh.
I sing for
You
parties.
do?
I sing at home. I sing a lot in the car. So sometimes if you see me on the road, and if the glasses are up and you think like I'm fighting with someone, I'm just singing with all energy.
okay.
Yeah.
म्हणजे एक मनीस असो आसता न्ही, तुका he is the support of your life, everything of your
And
life.
I think you already know the answer. He is my dad.
Okay.
But along with my dad, there's also my mother, because I don't go to office a single day without having my water bottle, without my tea flask, now since I'm doing intermittent fasting, without a dabba of fruits, some protein and all that. And she's the one, and she's always been behind the scene, whether it's for my dad or whether it's for me. But as much as my mom would tell me, get out of boxing, because, it's caused a lot of problem in my personal life. And at times, when my dad and we talk, we have difference of opinion, and it leads to, sometimes it leads, because when two boxers are boxing, so you know what happens.
Yeah.
And then we don't talk for some days, and then we know that it is boxing, but our ultimate intention is good, but the methodology is different. So
And the third person who's watching, it's
yeah, so
always
my mom always feels, that boxing has brought in a lot of problems, and sometimes my dad is not there for a family function. He was not there for my 21st birthday. He was not there for my brother's second day of the wedding because he's so dedicated to boxing. So as much as I would say that my dad has been like the major support for me in boxing, I would also like to acknowledge my mom, who's been there behind the scene. And I remember Victoria Fernandez, she was the president of Goa Amateur Boxing for the longest time. At any championship, she would praise my dad to the sky, but then she would also say, behind this successful man is his wife. So my dad and mom together, along with my family, my friends, those who've been envious of me, those who always thought of pulling Danuska down in boxing, thankful to all of them, because you need such people in life to motivate you and push you. But again, this is not the ultimate for me. I have a long way to go.
आता तुवें अशें म्हणलें पळय गोवन कल्चरूय धरलो आमी जाल्यार तुवें अशेंय म्हणलें की जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ फादर यू आर इन बॉक्सिंग ओके
Yeah,
आवय जी आसता पळय आवयचें काळीज वेगळें आसता
totally.
आनी लायक एटलिस्ट जेन्ना गर्ल चायल्ड आसता तेच्या खातीर शी इज लायक मोर ना थंय भायर वचनाका थंय उडी मारनाका थंय मार लागतलो दीस थिंग्स जाताले काय कितें
Not to a large extent. She was always supportive. But yes, she used to get scared. Like she can't see people getting bashed up, etc. When I was in the ring, but she motivated me to box. Because I was very scared to go for my first bout to box. Because the girl I was boxing with, she's a boxing coach today, Velanki. She's extremely strong. Like her touch on your hand would like pain me. And so I was very, very scared. But then she's always been supportive. And she's been a very, very proud mother, and it's the same today. As much as hurt she feels, when something happens to me, or the care she takes when I'm not well or my father's not well, I can see the same for her grandchild, for her granddaughter, and as much as my dad hopes that
Granddaughter.
my mom's granddaughter, so my niece, my brother's daughter.
यंगस्टर्स जे
Yeah.
आमकां पळयतात देर मे बी लॉट मेनी फॉलोवर्स यू हॅव इन ईच ऑफ द फील्ड वॉट यू पर्स्यू बॉक्सिंग आसूं किंवा जनो आसूं किंवा आनी कितें जें करता तूं तांकां कितें सांगूंक सोदता तूं द यूथ
Oh my God, I can speak on this for like half an hour because I'm so used to talking to students in college. But one thing that I would like to tell the youngsters is, no matter how life is, whether it gets difficult, don't give up. There will be days when there are highs, there will be days when there are lows. But please always remember that there's nothing ever in a straight line, okay? A straight line means you're dead when it comes to the thing to the monitor in the hospital. But look at life like a wave, okay? There's always waves. Sometimes the tide is rough, sometimes it's a high tide, sometimes it's low tide. But follow your dreams. And I was always taught this thing, follow your heart, don't listen to your mind. And I have made mistakes following my heart. So I would say, take a very conscious call. No regrets, but I've learned. Mistakes, yes, many mistakes, and who doesn't make mistakes? We all make mistakes, but I think it's important to understand that you've made a mistake and not repeat it again. So that's more important. I've made mistakes more than once, the similar kind of mistakes, but I'm just getting better, and I'm human, right? So I'll fail a number of times.
So there's a moment of time in life where you must have cried to the sky. Also, a moment.
Yes, it has happened, but it's too personal, and as much as I laugh with my heart out, I cry like a baby. So there have been many incidences, and as much as I'm a happy person, I'm also someone who is very deep and reflective and emotional and sensitive, and I don't like that coming out in public. But
No, but पळय तुजे जे इमोशन्स आसता पळय and when you are a journo
yeah,
अशें पळयता आमी की they write down those things through poems, through poetries. तूं तशें करना काय?
I write it through my posts. Some posts I never share, but I also sometimes write songs. I write songs and I just delete it.
एक खंयचें म्हणून अशें याद आहा तुका?
No.
Come on, yeah.
No, it's sometimes if it's meant to be for a person, I write the lyrics and I send it to the person.
Oh.
Because for me it's always connected to something or someone.
So next time you write something, no?
But
Send
yes,
it to me.
that's a plan. I plan to write a book someday in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I plan to study more because now I feel I'm less educated and I want to study more and something different like psychology, sports management. So I love understanding the mind, and and when my own students or friends come to me and talk to me, or when I can talk to them, I realize we can talk, and but I then realize I do not have the knowledge or experience of counseling, or providing therapy, and that's where I feel let down by myself, where I can't help a person beyond a point. I can probably give a listening ear, or a shoulder to someone to cry, but more than that, I can just talk about my experience and what I feel, but I want to do a
there's a
master's in
tagline.
psychology.
Okay, so there's a tagline for this show. I say life is not a target, it's a gift.
Absolutely.
So explain in your way.
For me, life is a gift because everything I've got is a gift. And sometimes when you get a gift, you might not like a gift, right? Because when somebody presents a gift, it's a gift.
His choice.
It's his choice, So I've accepted.
It may be her choice also.
Yeah, his or her choice,
Right.
whoever's choice,
Yeah.
or it's God's choice, But I also believe it's the path that we go that we collect these gifts, So if we take a particular path, we know the kind of gifts that we're going to get. Like, for example, if I was not in boxing and I was probably in HR, the gifts I would have got is probably a promotion, or a new job, or moving to another country. But now with this, each accolade that I get is a gift. A championship that I organize well is a gift. A go and getting a medal at the nationals is a kind of a gift for me. So everything is a gift, and I think we need to appreciate everything that we have, because I've never been religious, never, and in fact I've been a big rebel of only going to church and
You
praying.
know what? मुझे जितकी questions हा boy. म्हाका तू विचारूंक दिना तूच answer करूंक लागला आता. I wanted to ask you, like, believe in God.
Yes, I believe in God, and I believe in all religions. But I'm not someone who you will find in a church every Sunday. And it's taken a lot of time to explain to my mother that I don't need to go to church every Sunday to pray. And probably that's one of the commandments, and that's written in the Bible. But for me, praying is doing my work well.
Still
Yes.
that.
Yes, for me, work is worship, but I do sing hymns. I do say my own personal prayer. I talk to God. I like Buddhism. I like certain parts of Islam. I love Hindu mythology, and the science of nature incorporated in religion. So I believe they are all different pathways to the same God. But I'm not religious. I'm spiritual.
You talk about so much serious things, okay?
Yeah.
What made you so mature? Is it the time, the things what happened, or the sports what you are in?
Everything. I think everything. I think it's the life I've led. I think it's also to do with the times that we're living in. It's to do with my experiences with life. It's also to do with the people I've met through my journalism, through my sporting career, who have, spoken to me, who have imparted knowledge, who have, where we've shared experiences, etc. So I think all of that together, and when people tell you you've changed or you've not changed, I've not changed in my personality at all. Like I just met a friend in Bangalore who I'd met 13 years ago when I was doing my diploma, and she's like, you've not changed, you're the same person. But you change in your thinking, you change in your belief, you change in how you look at the world, and some people cannot accept that. But we are all we are all creatures who are just evolving with time, and I think
म्हाका दिसता you have watched all my episodes. Because you
Not
are
at all.
answering every question of mine which I want to ask you. Seriously.
Okay.
Because
So you can think
I
of
would
some
ask
different
you,
questions.
Yeah, that is now today's thing is like I will ask you one thing. How did you feel being on my show? How was Casually Yours for you?
It allowed me to be myself.
Okay.
Because I was very, very nervous first, okay, and my sister-in-law was like, you're going for an interview, put a dress, and first I removed a dress. So if I delayed coming, is because I was wondering what should I wear. Then I'm like, no, but I'm a jeans person, no, so let me just wear jeans. But then she's like, wear a nice top, and so then this is like, and I love white. I love white and black. So I said, chalo, let me just be myself, little bit. We look like a nice lady, but then I was like, as a journalist, I only ask questions. So here I'm getting to answer questions. I'm being the subject,
Correct.
So, and if you've given me a chance to be myself, and I told you, like, if I start talking, I'm not going to stop. And I think I've not spoken like this for a long
That I have
time.
experienced because
Yeah.
all this while I used to get comments saying like, तू दुसऱ्यांक उलोवंक चान्स दिना, तू फक्त क्वेश्चन विचारीत रावता. सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट टायम आय हॅव बीन सिरियसली.
I'm so sorry about
No,
that.
that's okay. That is a part of this episode. I would give you a chance to be the host of this show. जाल्यार तूं कशें हँडल करता हांगा? Because I want to improve on myself.
I forgot how to conduct TV interviews actually, but I think you're just super good at what you're doing. But
Thank you so much.
I think you know, besides what you're good at doing, I think if I was in your place, I would have made me shut up, you know, at times, because the host is in charge of the interview, and I
Yeah.
and I took away your show by just talking and talking and talking.
Exactly,
So you should have made me shut up. You should have said like, okay, let's move to the next question. So that's a knack. But I think you normally have it, but you just
I do it, yeah. I mean, this
but
is the
you
first
just
time.
let me talk and talk and
You
talk.
know why?
Why? Because you were just
No, because you are from my field.
thank you.
Yeah. So suddenly someone come up and say, "Hey, congratulations." कशी दिसता?
I feel blessed and honored, and I feel happy, you know, that this has made people feel proud that, you know, they can feel happy about a Goan who's done well, because ultimately for me it's about a Goan doing well, and I think that is something we all share, whether it's FC Goa winning something or Hema Sardesai making us proud. I think Goa is something that unites all of us, irrespective of what our opinions are or how we feel on certain issues and all of that.
जे कॅज्युअली वचाचे जे पळोवपी आसात
Okay.
तांकां कितें मेसेज दितले तूं?
I think such shows, you know, need to be watched and popularized in Goa and among Goans of the diaspora, because I think here is where we are connected to our Goans, and as much as we want to know what's happening around the world, we need to know about Goans who've done well, or, you know, Goans who matter to us, and, you know, understand that, you know, Goans are still touch base with Goa and are grounded in Goa. No matter how high we go or whatever we do, we still love Goa, and, you know, we love being ourselves, and I think that is something that you won't find somewhere else. You know, we love being ourselves and we are attached to Goa. And when it comes to being on Casually Yours, I think that is the love that Casually Yours has got all along, that, you know,
Thanks
this has
so
become a popular program to watch on YouTube, and I'm extremely happy that I am part of it, and
I'm honored.
I'm extremely delighted and honored as well, and I really hope that there are a lot of Goans, and I think there is no shortage of Goans who have done well in whatever
Correct.
field,
Very-
and I think this will run through several seasons and will still get better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Raj.
म्हाका असं तुजो टायम तुका कितको हो आहा तो कळ्ळो, कारण हांवें केन्नाच्यान तुका विचारता आज फाल्यां तुमी ना मागीर
Sunday is one day where I like to sleep and get up late, but then I was playing with my niece till very late at night, so, and I'm not a morning person. I'm just not a morning person, but
आई म्हाका कळ्ळें तेका रातचें म्हाका देडाक ते मॅसेज घातले and I was fast asleep actually.
and everyone knows Sundays are for a lazy day to sleep, to cook a little bit at home and just relax.
So I just hope that you have spoken your heart.
Yes, I have.
You felt at home.
Thank you so much. Yes, I felt at home in Saligaon.
So thank you so much for your presence on my show. People, this was Casually Yours, and here with me, two other brother Sangtu. You are what? Box.
I'm an international technical official.
Danuska, the Gama. So thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. I'm honored and delighted.
Yes, and keep watching Casually Yours. Take care.
Thank you.
Casually Yours, Season 2.